We're ready.
Brandon, it's a rare opportunity for you guys to have practice like that. What did you guys get out of it this morning?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had much opportunities like this in the schedule, like you mentioned. It was nice to have a day yesterday to recover and then not have to play the next day. So you're able to come to the rink, really take care of your body and put a good work day on in the ice. So we worked hard, worked on a couple things that we're continuing to grow in our game, and thought it was a good work day for us. We got another one tomorrow, and then we get ready to play.
There's no perfect team or perfect game, but against Dallas and against the Rangers, you guys had the lead, and those guys were good teams, but they come back. Won't say concern, but is there a point that you guys have to work as a team to keeping the lead?
Yeah, I mean, we're growing as a group, right? And the better we get, the more opportunities we'll have in those situations, and the more comfortable you get. It's all about experience. I think we'll start to handle these situations a little bit better. That said, the Ranger game, they're going to have a push, obviously. I didn't think we sat back. I think they just, they made some plays. The Dallas game was all with the goalie pulled, so it was a little bit of a unique circumstance. But, you get more comfortable. I liked our responses, the way we handled it. It was just a matter of, getting used to it, getting a little bit more comfortable, and you grow that experience as a group.
What was the first thing that a team have to learn, a young team have to learn to secure those leads, at your point of view?
Yeah, it's how to manage it, right? You don't want to take too many chances, but you also can't sit back. So there's a fine line, and it's just feeling it out. How do you continue to play a smart, safe game without being on your heels and continue to apply pressure? So you want to, it's difficult. It's difficult to find the line, but it's more so a mental thing and understanding different situations that you're going to see. You also know that teams are going to push more, so you have to understand how to deal with more pinches and more pressure, and a little bit you got to make plays with the guys in your face, and there's always something on the other side. But it's just you're playing one game, and then they're going to change their systems a little bit, and you got to adapt, and that's just part of experience in this league, and understanding how to be in those situations a little bit more, and the better we get, the more comfortable we get.
I feel that's the next step. Since Marty's been here, it's been very it seems like building blocks one after the other. Do you feel that now this is the next step?
We're growing and we're adding to our game. Definitely, I think that's something we've always talked about. I think we're competing majority of nights here, and you got to get comfortable playing with the lead. That's where you want to be. You work so hard to get that lead. How to hold on to it is something that we're going to continue to talk about and get more comfortable with, for sure.
Your home record isn't probably.
Those opponents were a very good team, but you guys had 3-goal leads, and you've lost the lead. You won the game, but you've lost the lead. Is that the next step, Jake, at your point of view, for this group? Play to keeping the lead.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at some of those good teams, you can see when they got the lead, they don't really change much, and I think that's something we can hopefully start getting used to, is having these bigger leads and not panicking with the puck, not changing how we play. Sometimes you can get too excited and think that you can blow the game out. So it's something we're going to be continuing to get better at, hopefully, and more practice at is the best way to get used to it, and just being smart with pucks and not getting too excited, I guess.
Brandon just said that it came with experience. Is that the point, the biggest point?
Yeah, I think it's, when you get those leads, it's always a great thing, but you can't be nervous about losing it or nervous about making mistakes. When you get those leads, you're clearly doing something right, so sticking to what was working and taking their life away.
Merci.
Thanks.
Thank you.
we're getting like apples and chocolate milk after every game. It's just the coolest thing.
Was it a big thing for you at the beginning of the season when you're now knowing to go to this big playoff? Because we had a really good team.
So that was kind of the goal, was to like make that tournament and do well in it, and kind of prepare for it for months there. And I mean, we thought we'd do well. We didn't think we'd win it, but it was unbelievable. Yeah.
And the atmosphere, as you said, was
Crazy, especially to watch 12-year-old kids, right? To have 10,000 people, so it's super cool. And my dad is coaching youth teams now, so he's been. My brother went, I went, and he's been like 2 more times. So he has a ton of fun with it every time. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One or two more, Jordan? One or two more questions?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over the last few games against good teams like Dallas and New York, you guys have the lead. But the other team came back. You won those games, but the other team came back. Is that the next step for this group, learning to manage those situations with the lead against good teams?
Of course, yeah. And I think that's what mature teams and teams with a lot of experience of winning get better at, over the course of their growth as a club. So I think that's huge for us because we have a great team, and I think that we're going to start being up in games more with how consistent we've been playing, and I really believe that. So I think that's definitely the next step, is to be able to not only hold on to those leads, but grow them, build on them, keep playing the same way that we played in the start.
On the personal side, do you see the progression about yourself, your game, the way that you react compared to last year at your first time, with the way that you play now when you have the lead?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, the more opportunities that you get to be in those situations, the more comfortable you're going to be. There's so many great players in this league that you can never let your foot off the gas pedal, right? And I think it's those little details that add up, especially when you play against top lines. It's the little things that really count. So I think it's just making sure, again, we stay consistent with that, and I stay consistent with that personally, and then keep building on the good things.
What's it like playing with Drayden at this level?
It's been a lot of fun. It's good. It almost feels as though, back in college, it's just, horsing around at the end of practice and working on one-timers and stuff like that. So to do it, with this team and on this stage, it's really special. And just to have him around, right? Just have a close buddy. And I played with Caden for a year, so we're close as well. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm really happy for him, how well he's been playing. So hopefully he can keep it up.
What do you think about that, his progression? He's been able to stay in all the way through. How would you describe what he's been able to do since he's come here?
Yeah, no, he's been awesome, and I think that he's really, come into his own and really used the attributes that he has, his skating and his intelligence and his mobility and killing plays, and I think it's really come together, nicely. And just consistency. Like he's been great every single game. So it's good to see him be able to showcase, his potential and what we all know he can do. Yeah.
You guys ever imagined back in the days that you would be playing the same line, shutdown line against one of the best teams in the NHL?
We hoped it, right? You never know what happens down the road. You just hope for the best and work hard. But it's really cool to see it come to fruition. Yeah.
Thank you.
See you.
La semaine passée, vous avez joué 2 bonnes équipes. Vous avez eu l'avance, mais vous êtes fait remonter, vous êtes parvenu à gagner. Dallas puis les Rangers. Est-ce que pour vous autres, Martin, comme équipe, d'apprendre à gérer ces situations-là est un autre step prochain pour ton groupe, d'apprendre à bien composer avec ça?
Je pense que c'est sûr, c'est important. C'est important là, pour notre jeune groupe d'avoir ces scénarios-là, puis comprendre comment faut que tu te comportes à ces moments-là. Puis c'est dur à répliquer ça, tu sais. Fait que je sais, une saison, ça va t'amener des différents scénarios. Puis c'est d'être confortable dans chaque. Puis je pense qu'on commence à être plus confortable dans chacun de ces scénarios-là. Puis c'est de savoir, être alerte, c'est quoi qui se passe présentement, qu'est-ce qu'on a besoin, tu sais. Puis, tu sais, comme la game comme New York, je sais, on gagne 3-0, mais, tu sais, tu regardes un but, c'est un face-off. L'autre but, c'est des lancers de loin qui passent à travers un petit peu, tu sais. Ça fait que c'est la game un peu. Mais j'ai aimé comment qu'on a poussé quand ils ont égalisé ça. Tu sais, on n'a pas arrêté.
Sens-tu que les joueurs clés qui forment ton équipe actuellement, ton noyau, ont les bases nécessaires pour être capables, avec l'expérience et le temps, bien gérer cette situation-là? C'est quoi les indications que tu as par rapport à tes joueurs clés au moment où on se parle?
Ben, je sais pas si j'ai des indications. Moi, je pense que c'est des gars qui peuvent te donner de l'offensive, sont capables de gérer le côté offensif si on a besoin d'un but ou quelque chose, mais aussi d'être responsable si on n'a pas besoin de but, puis c'est continuer à jouer, puis de comprendre gérer le risque. Je pense qu'on s'améliore beaucoup comme équipe là-dessus. Puis c'est pas juste les joueurs clés, c'est tout le monde. Tu peux pas... Il faut que tout le monde y comprenne ça. Tu peux pas juste avoir 4-5 gars qui comprennent ça. Fait que, non, c'est un bon signe.
Le secret là-dedans, c'est aussi un peu d'être capable de rester calme, peu importe la situation, quand ça remonte, puis pas céder à la panique.
Oui, je pense qu'il faut que tu te... C'est un thermostat. Il faut que tu te règles. Tu sais, des fois, c'est facile d'être fâché, déçu et tout. Non, faut que tu sais, la game, elle continue. Faut que tu continues. C'est what's next. Tu sais, puis je pense qu'on fait une bonne job à essayer de se régler.
C'est sûr l'expérience que tu apprends à gérer ton thermostat.
Ben, un petit peu.
Oui,
et puis sans enlever l'émotion. Ça prend de l'émotion. Mais l'émotion soit dirigée dans la bonne direction. Si tu joues juste avec de la frustration, c'est dur à se régler comme équipe, tu sais. Mais faut que tu joues avec l'intensité de l'émotion. Faut que tu sois engagé mentalement. Puis faut pas que tu t'embarques trop émotionnellement pour te gâcher ton match, tu sais. Puis pas juste individuellement, mais comme équipe.
Qu'est-ce que tu vois marquer dans le jeu de Struble qui te pousse à lui faire confiance comme tu le fais là,
la constance. Tu sais, c'est un bon patineur. Il est fort physiquement, puis il a des bonnes touches.
Es-tu surpris quand même de son rendement? Tu sais, quand il a été calé, il avait des blessures un peu en défense. On pensait peut-être un peu tout que ça allait pas nécessairement être si long, mais il fait juste gagner des responsabilités. Puis...
Ouais, il te force à y en donner plus, ça c'est sûr. Je suis surpris. Mais je te dirais, j'étais surpris genre après 5-6 games, tu sais. Mais là, je suis rendu moins surpris parce que ça continue.
La plupart des joueurs qui sont ici ont été acquis dans les 3 ou 4 dernières années. Vous avez Brandon Gallagher, que ça fait une décennie qu'il est ici. Dans tout ce que vous faites en termes de culture, ces choses-là, c'est quoi la valeur d'avoir un gars comme Brandon qui a connu les hauts, les bas à Montréal?
Bien, tu peux pas acheter l'expérience qu'il a. Puis son éthique de travail, il amène les gars, il tire les gars là, de travailler. Ça prend ça. C'est un bel exemple. Mais comme tu peux pas acheter l'expérience.
Est-ce qu'il y a une différence entre lui qui a vécu tout ça à Montréal, puis peut-être un gars d'expérience qui va venir d'ailleurs, puis qui n'aura pas nécessairement vécu ce bagage-là à Montréal?
Oui, je pense que c'est important d'avoir des gars qui sont ici pour une secousse parce que ça amène la perspective à d'autres joueurs, tu sais, puis l'expérience que Gallagher a ici, mais il peut aider les autres à comprendre c'est quoi le marché puis tout. Puis, comme je te dis, mais tu peux pas acheter ça.
Martin, quelle valeur ça a de voir ton équipe après un match difficile sur le désavantage numérique contre les Sabres rebondir comme ça contre une équipe comme les Rangers qui excelle à 50 ans?
Mais c'est un bon signe. Écoute, on travaille là-dessus, puis des fois, mais tu as des bonnes intentions et tout, mais d'autres équipes, ils vont te forcer à faire des fois des mauvaises lectures ou quelque chose. Mais c'est de se corriger puis de continuer à essayer de s'améliorer. Tu vas avoir des séquences où ça va mieux que d'autres, puis c'est même quand on a tout tué les punitions, on était-tu parfait? Non. On a eu des arrêts clés. C'est de continuer à corriger, même si tu n'en as pas donné de but. C'est pas être on est correct parce qu'on n'a pas donné de but. Non, il faut tout changer parce qu'on a donné deux. Non, faut que tu sois honnête, faut que tu rentres dans les détails puis tu continues à enseigner.
Marty, you always like to say some players play chess, some players play checkers. I was joking on the weekend that it looks like Mike Pizzetta likes to play pinball. All kidding aside, though, the value of, as he just put it, getting some skin on the forecheck, how critical is that still in today's game where the game moves at a faster speed?
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunity in the shift that you can be physical, and I feel like if you just want to run around and be physical, you're not necessarily going to be helping your team. You might, pat the stat sheet, but, and I think Pez has found the balance of when to, being physical and also stay inside the concepts that we're trying to play so we can defend with 5 guys. We don't want to just lose a guy. Sometimes you overcommit and you miss your hits. They're coming with numerical advantage. So I like the balance that he's finding that. He's played well. And I think for him, definitely starts with some physicality. But he's trying to play the game too, which I feel he's improved a lot since I've been here at just playing the game, not just getting 7-8 hits on a stat sheet.
Like if you go back in time, some of the coaches you would have played would have been furious with you about a flyby. What are the circumstances in today's game, or perhaps within your concepts, where a flyby actually makes more sense than getting?
To me, it's the kind of angle you have on somebody. To me, if you're just diving in to go a hit, you have no angle on him, and the guy, goes left or right of you, and we lost you. Especially the way teams attack now, they're looking for 4th and 5th guy coming in. So if you lose a player early, it might hurt you 2-3 touches down the road because that guy's still part of the play. But to me, getting some skin, it's not so much on the forecheck. It is part of it, but it's in our D zone. Eliminating guys. Finishing in front of them so they don't get their next touch too early, because if you don't hit guys, they play free, they go where they want, you don't alter their routes or their pace, they're not able to jump inside of you, and again, I think you got to be calculated when you're going to go finish a guy in the D zone, because now you try to finish a guy in the D zone and he jumps by you because you had a terrible angle. Well, now that numerical advantage is even deadlier because they're in our zone. They don't have to go 200 feet to hit that 5th guy. They're there. So there's, you got to be calculated in how you're going to, be physical, but it's a big part of the game.
Les gars t'ont parlé un petit peu de Struble, mais récemment, en bas, Mailloux, Jacky vont mieux. Tu penses-tu qu'un gars comme Struble, c'est le meilleur message que tu peux pas envoyer dans une organisation qui veut développer des jeunes joueurs quand il arrive ce qui lui est arrivé ici? Là?
Bien, il y a eu une opportunité, avec des blessures et tout, puis il a pris un avantage de ça, puis jusqu'à date, il force les choses. Fait que je pense que ça démontre comment compétitif la Ligue allait, puis faut que tu amènes ça à chaque jour parce que tu sais jamais les circonstances qui peuvent arriver, puis il y en a un qui essaie de faire sa place. Fait que non, écoute, je pense que c'est un bon bon problème pour nous autres à avoir. On a beaucoup de bons jeunes joueurs. Défense, comme tu parles de Jacky et Mailloux. Ça nous met encore plus de profondeur. Puis si tu as des décisions difficiles à prendre, mais c'est une bonne affaire.
Ça parle plus fort qu'un meeting de coach, des fois. Ça parle plus fort qu'un meeting avec un coach, un exemple comme ça, pour un joueur, d'après toi?
Ben, je sais pas. Ça dépend c'est quoi le meeting.
Merci,
OK, merci.
Merci.